Welcome back to Pop Goes the Kernel, where we dive into today's latest pop culture, music, television, movies, and more.
I'm Bella Lindsey.
I'm Marissa Armstrong.
And I'm Gabby Mercedes.
Today's episode will include celebrity Halloween costumes, a new box office record, another Miss Universe scandal, and holiday drinks.
Let's get popping.
The opinions expressed on this podcast are the speaker's own and don't uphold the opinions expressed by the Kentucky Kernel.
I don't know about you guys, but growing up, I would watch TV with my family, and one show that was consistently always on our television was Ridiculousness. And funny story about this show, it actually just got canceled after 14 years of being on air and 46 seasons.
Oh my gosh.
A little bit about the show. It was hosted by Rob Dyrdek, and it was essentially like a video rewatch kind of TV show where they'd play like basically Barstool clips or other random social media clips that went viral or just funny clips, and it would just be having people react to it. What I like to think of it is like kind of a raunchy version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh,
That's exactly what I was about to ask if it was like.
That's essentially what it is. But the show just got canceled. It was hosted by MTV, which is kind of where you get that more, I guess, raunchy side. Makes sense. They will continue to be having their episodes go up through 2026, any previously recorded episodes, but they are no longer in production, which I think is kind of crazy because I feel like this is one show that was constantly running on my TV. It was always on, never stopping, and to be quite frankly, I didn't really like it, so I'm kind of happy to see it ending. I remember whenever it'd be on my TV and my dad and my brothers would be watching, my mom hated it for some reason. She did not like it. But what are your guys' thoughts on this big cancellation?
Honestly, I'd never really heard of it. Like, I stumbled across it maybe a few times, but I don't know, America's Funniest Home Videos, that's where my heart lays. I mean, mainly because I made my family watch it because, come on, it was like Vine, but on TV. Mm-hmm. So, and also for MTV, it makes sense it'd be a little more kind of raunchy, but Marissa, you watched Ridiculousness?
I wouldn't say I watched it. I never sought out Ridiculousness. It was just always there, and I would sit down just, having a fun old time, and I'd be like, oh, I guess I'm watching this now. It reminds me of those shows they play in restaurants sometimes that are just random clips. I don't know. I never sought it out, to answer your question, but I guess you could say I watched a little bit.
No, that makes sense. It's like that background noise that you kind of have on as a kid. You're not totally into it, but you know what? It sounds like it was still like a really good watch. Okay, but Bella, did you watch Ridiculousness?
I had never heard of this.
Really?
At all. I'm kind of like Gabby. I thought it was just like America's Funniest Home Videos, and kind of like you, that was kind of always on in the background, but 46 seasons, I can only equate this to like Grey's Anatomy getting canceled and like the freak out if that were to ever happen. So I can imagine it's a big deal, but I mean, was this a popular show? Did people like it? Are people happy about this? Are people sad about this?
People I wouldn't say they're necessarily happy about it, but they're definitely glad to see it go because it's one of those shows. People are tired of it. Mm-hmm. It's been 14 years of it playing every single day on MTV. I kid you not, if I was flipping through those channels and I passed by MTV, this show was playing. So that's crazy to me that you've never heard of it at all. But I think people are content with it leaving. I don't think it had a really large fan base, I would say. No one was like, oh my goodness, Ridiculousness is my favorite show. But, I mean, the fact that it went on for so long has to show that it had some sort of cult following to it. But I don't know. I think MTV will be moving in a direction to kind of shift where they're going. They said that the company is going to explore fresh formats, different creative voices, and refreshed programming, which I think is kind of odd for MTV because they're known to just kind of be trash TV. But maybe they're trying to go in a completely different direction, so.
Well, I don't know about you, but it seems like Gabby and I, along with a whole bunch of other people, won't be losing sleep about this cancellation.
We talked about him last week in our Regretting You movie review, but I really want to brush on our favorite actor right now, Mason Thames. He just hit a all-time record for himself. He's the second actor ever to have 3 movies hit number 1 in the U.S. box office in the same year, and the first was Jim Carrey in 1994.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
Absolutely insane. His 3 movies that this was for were The How to Train Your Dragon live action, Regretting You, and Black Phone 2. We know, I love Mason Thames. I think he's so talented. All of these roles were so different from one another. He's not typecasted in any sense. Like, he is showing, like, versatility in his characters, which I'm loving to see. And the fact that he is only the second person to ever do this and is comparable to icon Jim Carrey is absolutely insane to me.
At such a young age of like him doing this as well. And was he not just in a Sexiest Man Alive category as well?
Yes, sure was.
You know, whatever my feelings are on the How to Train Your Dragon live action, I think that this is an absolutely insane feat, especially at such a young age.
He's just turned like 18. Like he's
younger
only
than
18
us.
years old. Yeah.
And I think he's on a trajectory to kind of be like the next Timothée Chalamet-esque person. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing him in these big awards show nominations coming up.
Honestly, being 18 years old, A, I feel really old hearing that. I had no idea. And B, that's impressive. You know what? Shout out to him. I hope to see him at some big award ceremonies, and we get to talk about him yet again once they come back around. And hopefully, it's going to be him taking away an award.
I know our minds are already in Christmas mode and holiday drinks, but we have to talk about Halloween just one more time. Heidi Klum had her iconic Halloween party and fashion show, and there were some iconic costumes and just Halloween costumes in general. Some notable mentions, of course, Heidi Klum dressed up as a very realistic Medusa, and her husband dressed up as her victim in stone. Demi Lovato was Poot for Halloween. Poot! her iconic meme. Cat's Eye always does an iconic group costume, and they were eras of Mariah Carey. James Charles at this party was himself but headless, and he was carrying his head. Sabrina Carpenter had a Halloween show. She was Barbie, Wonder Woman, and the Flintstones. But at Heidi Klum's Halloween party, there were just a lot of iconic costumes, and there were also some controversial ones as well, including Julia Fox, who dressed up as Jackie Kennedy, but stained with blood.
Oh,
what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I think I saw her message she tried to put out to like talk about why she trying to justify her look, and I just kind of thought it was a bad look because you have to remember that this was a real event that happened and people were involved and that there are people still affected by what happened. And I just think the fact that she covered herself in blood and made it so apparent was just very distasteful on her part.
I definitely agree with that because there are still people that are very much struggling with it. But on another note, this may be a little niche for my Roblox fans, but what in the world, James Charles? It's giving that headless horseman that people would just about line up to buy because it'd always go on sale for Halloween. So hearing that James Charles did this, especially since, we all know he's dabbled in Roblox before too, I feel like he may have gotten some inspiration.
I saw the video of him replicating his head in the silicone, and I was like, oh my gosh, because he had to paint it with makeup too. And I was like, wow. I mean, one thing about James Charles is he's going to serve a look, and he's going to go all in for a look. We've seen his Coachella looks in the past, and so I'm not surprised at how all out he went for this year's Halloween look.
Also, this could be really good PR for his makeup brand, Peyton.
Yes.
I just completely remembered because I saw them on TikTok once again, and I had yet to see James Charles look, and I was like, they have to know. They have to know. And you know what? They all served. I also loved Cat's Eye's outfit. Their entire costume was perfect. I also love Mariah Carey, and you know what? It's time!
Don't bring it back. I do want to talk about Poot Lovato for a second, because when I saw that Demi Lovato was dressing up as the meme of herself, Poot, which for those of you who don't know, there's an iconic photo of Demi when she got, like, it was a horrible angle of a camera and it just washed her out and it made her look weird. But someone edited this photo. Poot is not a real photo, if you guys didn't know.
Oh my gosh,
I actually didn't know that.
It's not real. Someone edited it to make her look weirder than she was. So people, I didn't find this out till like last year that the photo's not real, but I'm glad that Demi's playing into just the meme of Poot because it's one of my favorite memes ever. So I was so excited to see her dress up as Poot. But we do need to talk about the Queen of Halloween, which is Heidi Klum. She hosted a Halloween party. She always has her unforgettable looks, and obviously she was Medusa this year. She spent 5 months coming up, designing this costume with her designers. She spent hours putting makeup on. She had like real snakes that were like moving and everything. I loved it. I love every one of her looks. I know sometimes they're odd. I know sometimes they're weird, but you can't hate and say that she doesn't commit to the bit of Halloween.
Oh, she 110% commits, and honestly, I saw the outfit, and my first thought is that's dedication. If you're gonna go all out for a Halloween party you're hosting, you got to do it right, and she did not disappoint this year. Calling all my fashion fans out there, we just celebrated the CFDA Awards. For those of you who are not familiar with them, it's the Council of Fashion Designers of America. They handed out some pretty impressive awards for the work from this past year to designers. Shout out to Amazon Fashion for actually footing most of the prize money, which is absolutely insane. And of course, our favorite brands chipping in as well. Let's dive into some of the most impactful winners. Starting out with Ralph Lauren winning American Women's Wear Designer of the Year. Are we shocked now, ladies? Come on.
No.
Absolutely not. It's Ralph Lauren.
Exactly. Following up with Tom Brown winning American Menswear Designer of the Year. Now, I personally have not really heard of him, but clearly he has done some fabulous work. The Row won American Accessory Designer of the Year, which, in case you didn't know, that was established in 2005 by the Olsen twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
That's crazy. Okay, Olsen twins. I didn't know you had game like that.
I know. From actress to designer, hello?
I love them so much, and they're always in hiding, so whenever we see them, I always feel like it's like a little treat.
This was really a treat, truly. Following up, A$AP Rocky wins Fashion Icon Award, and get this, he thanked Rihanna in his speech, and their daughter was also there for his speech. It was the cutest thing. He was just so happy to receive that award. It honestly made me tear up. I don't know, guys. Sarah Moonves won the Media Award. So for those of you who are not totally familiar with the Media Award of the CFDA Awards, it was in honor of Eugenia Shepherd, who was a journalist who is most famously known for coming up with the gossip surrounding the fashion world. So Sarah Moonves and her coverage on fashion this past year, shaping the world.
I love that that's an award that's recognized at these fashion awards, and it's not just recognizing the fashion itself, but recognizing the people who talk about the fashion and write about the fashion and all these things. And I think it's really important to recognize those people too.
Exactly. It takes a whole team to make something successful. So shout out to her. That made me so happy to see that award. Of course, Donatella Versace winning the Positive Change Award. Hello, that's impressive. And then rounding out some of our bigger awards, Peter Molière of Alaya won the International Award. Now, he's best known for his work with sculptures, and he's also worked for Calvin Klein and Dior. And of course, for this being international, that's a huge award. He is being recognized worldwide, not only for his work with American companies, but just his overall impact. So is there anybody that you're kind of like, whoa, what in the world?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I've never heard of these awards before, so it was cool kind of diving into like what each of the winners were and what each of these awards were. So I mean, I'm not a big fashion person, but obviously I know names like Ralph Lauren and Donatella Versace because those are kind of the iconic designers, so I'm not surprised seeing their names pop up in here at all. But I definitely want to check out some of these more underground designers because I feel like fashion designers kind of get overlooked in today's world. People are like, oh, that's a cute top, but they don't really acknowledge the people who made it. So I'm glad that these awards are bringing to light the artists themselves.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Marissa, but one person that really stood out to me was Sarah Moonves, especially for her coverage of fashion, her journalism award. And not only that, she is the daughter of some pretty big, high-up CBS executives who made Big Brother. Her parents are pretty famous. So for her to kind of be going into the fashion industry and creating her own name for herself in a totally different realm than her parents, I think it's just really great to see that.
I love it. And you know who really just stuck out to me with all of this that I feel like we're sleeping on as designers? The Olsen twins, okay? We already said it, you know what, going from actress to designer, but I looked at their website, which honestly is sold not only on there, but on other platforms as well. And it's actually really cute. They are known best, of course, this award is mainly for their handbags. Guys, they're so cute. I can't lie. I was super impressed when I saw them, and I was even more shocked that Mary-Kate and Ashley designed the one that won the award. Hello? That's crazy.
I guess that gives me an excuse to go do some online shopping after this.
Absolutely. Hey, Black Friday is right around the corner, ladies. And you know what? Maybe we need to give these fashion designers a little more credit.
We talked about it last week. The Sexiest Man Alive results are in. We have to give props to Marissa because she guessed it. Jonathan Bailey is the 2025 People Magazine Sexiest Man Alive. Woo-hoo. Not only this, he's the first openly gay People's Magazine Sexiest Man Alive. And I just think that that's absolutely amazing. He said it, it's the honor of a lifetime. And I think that the fact that so many people agree with this choice, men and women, we all kind of agree that this was the right choice for this year.
I mean, I saw him on Jimmy Fallon. He's like, oh, that's me. He's like behind him. And I'm like, you know what? That's so well deserved. And honestly, his photo shoot for it too was phenomenal. But I'm gonna be honest with you all. You know what it's feeling like? It's kind of feeling like a Wicked promo. Hello?
I agree with this. I kind of found it odd that People Magazine have never really been so on point with a choice in their Sexiest Man Alive. It's never really been like this giant outpour of, yes, they've got it right this time. Like, oh my gosh. And it really feels like a timing thing here.
I definitely agree. I think it's kind of ironic, the choice. I mean, obviously, he's Jonathan Bailey. He's kind of everywhere right now. He has Wicked. He has Bridgerton. But that's why it's so perplexing because, again, like you said, people's never been so on the nose with someone so actively working right now. So it definitely is interesting. I think it's a great choice. I think they definitely got it right. But I almost wonder if there was a little bit of payment involved when making the decision here about our Sexiest Man Alive.
No, I don't think any of us are saying that he doesn't deserve it.
Yes.
Or we're not trying to discredit him as the first openly gay Sexiest Man Alive. But the timing is certainly interesting. But, he has had Jurassic World Rebirth coming out over the summer, Bridgerton, new season of Bridgerton, and Wicked. So we do have to give him his flowers, but the timing is certainly interesting.
Definitely.
It's deserved, though. You can't lie. He is very beautiful.
Yes. I will say, this isn't the only first of this People Magazine Sexiest Man Alive issue, because we have the first ever Sexiest Man Alive centerfold in this issue. And you want to know who got this honor? That would be Role Model. Tucker Pillsbury, Role Model, is our first ever Sexiest Man Alive centerfold. And I love this because, let me say, he has been gunning for this for a year. Ever since last year when he was up for a category and he lost to Harry Styles, he has had a grudge against People Magazine, and his fans have all simultaneously hated People Magazine. It's kind of become a meme that he's not sexy or I know, it's a whole thing. And the fact that he finally got his centerfold makes me so happy because it's very well deserved. I think we get the Jonathan, I guess both of them are catered towards Gen Z for a little bit, but Role Model really hits that young TikTok demographic.
Yeah. Now, I know you all are tired of hearing me talk about this, but I can never get over it. Maybe this particular topic, though. Miss Universe is started to kick off. They had their welcome week, all that fun stuff for the most part. Now, surfacing all over the internet is kind of some controversy that happened while the delegates were in their sashing ceremony, which is when they get their sash that they'll compete with all week long. And Miss Universe Thailand, their national director, Nawat, was giving a speech and asked Miss Universe Mexico, the contestant, to stand up and basically called her dumb in front of all of the delegates, including some Miss Universe officials. And of course, she stood there absolutely petrified out of her mind, didn't know what to think because she was just, not only was she insulted, but her own national directors were insulted right to her face. He called her dumb approximately 2 times, and these girls were not having it. Talk about women empowerment. Half of these contestants stood up and walked out, including our very own Miss Universe herself, Victoria. She actually stood in front of the hotel and issued a statement to people very concerned, saying that she would not stand for this, that it was completely disrespectful and unprofessional for him to say this, and for that reason, she would be leaving, and she joins the other girls that walked out as well. Shout out to her. I thought that's exactly why she won the crown. She's here for the women. She's here to represent not only herself, but the true integrity of Miss Universe itself. Now, making me a little upset here was our very own Miss USA Audrey Eckert did not walk out with them. She stayed, and those are the women that were considered willing to work, which made me a little disappointed that, I know that in the end it's the job of a lifetime, but this was something that was so incredibly disrespectful. He has yet to really issue an apology, and everyone knows that if Nawat issues an apology, it's mainly because the entire world is upset, and he wouldn't be, apologetic for real about it. Now, I know that other people know about this. This has been actually trending. I've had people sending it to me. Has anybody else seen this on TikTok?
I got this on my For You page, and I was like, oh my gosh, Gabby's gonna love this.
Absolutely.
I was very surprised. I got the video of the whole event, exactly what he said, her walking out. The craziest part for me was him saying, like, security, block the doors. I was like, what kind of position of power do you hold that you're able to do that? I commend, Miss Mexico and all the other girls that got up and walked out with her. This may be a kind of controversial topic, but Miss Universe, I don't really think any men should be that high up in an official position at all. I think, like you said, it's kind of about woman empowerment and the fact that, right now he's kind of had no consequences to saying this. It really rubs me the wrong way.
What really gets me in particular is that he's not even the Miss Universe director. He's just the Thailand national director. Of course, he's giving a speech because, in case you didn't know, Miss Universe is being held in Thailand, and people are assuming this will probably be the last time it's held there. I personally expect this to not go in his favor. He has already gained a lot of distrust and dislike before all the delegates arrived, and now that this has happened, because he did tell them to block the doors, and he also told the girls that they should not be leaving. Did they listen? Of course not. They're going to stand in solidarity with their girl, Miss Mexico. It'll be very interesting, though, to see what goes on. They've already canceled one event where he was supposed to talk there, and Victoria, the current Miss Universe, has already issued a statement saying that the events that she's attending for Miss Universe for the rest of the week, mainly she's only there because she wants to support the girls that are really going for this. A ton of people have already dropped out. This was before this even happened. I'm very interested to see what the numbers are looking like come November 21st when they all compete for the title of a lifetime. How many of these countries are actually going to compete? But for now, let's just hope we get at least some sort of apology. It's the fall holidays, ladies, and you know what that means? It's time for some holiday drinks, and I am probably the biggest fan of any holiday or specialty drinks. For those of you who have been tuning into Pop Goes the Kernel, I talked about it last year, and we're going to talk about it again. It is time for those Christmas drinks, ladies. Starting off strong with Starbucks, they brought back their eggnog latte, their peppermint mocha, their caramel brulee latte, iced sugar cookie latte, their iced gingerbread chai, and chestnut praline latte. Out of those, not gonna lie, I love me a good gingerbread chai. You know what does have me peeved? They normally have the cranberry refresher, and they also have it with the coconut milk. I love it. It's one of my favorites. They didn't bring it back. I'm devastated, personally.
You know what I'm excited for? it is not the holiday season until I get my peppermint mocha. And in high school, I used to have a Snapchat story where I would take a picture every time I got a peppermint mocha and I'd have a counter because I got them all the time. A nice warm peppermint mocha. Oh, I'm so excited for it to be back. Technically, you can get them all year because they always have peppermint syrup, but
It's different.
It's different. I can't do it unless it's actually on the menu. So I'm so back. We're so back.
We're so back. You know what? Thanksgiving is great and all, but these holiday drinks are for Christmas, and I'm here for it. You know who also has great holiday drinks? Dunkin'. Peppermint Mocha Signature Latte's back, the Toasted White Chocolate Signature Latte, the Cookie Butter Cloud Latte, brand new. Also continuing with some new drinks, we have the Berry Sangria Refresher, the Raspberry Striped Croissant, and the Bacon Jam Breakfast Sandwich and Grilled Cheese. Now, I'm a huge fan of their refreshers. I've talked about it before. I don't know how I feel about a Berry Sangria Refresher, but you know what? I'm here for some cookie butter.
I want to say, they say this Cookie Butter Cloud Latte is new. However, I think they just rebranded it because that is my Dunkin' drink of choice in the winter. If I'm getting an iced coffee, I'm going to Dunkin' and I'm getting that. But I think last year it was called the Cookie Butter Cold Brew Latte, or Cold Foam Latte.
Oh, okay.
But now they're renamed Cold Foam to Cloud. And I think they're getting away with it being new, and I think that's an advertising technique. I think they're using it to be like, we have a new drink. No, you don't. It's because it's my drink, and I've been looking forward to it all year. So I'm so excited for that one to be back because it hits different.
Duncan, watch out. You've been clocked by Marissa. Let's
Yeah.
hope Dutch Bros goes a little more under the radar with Marissa here. They're bringing back their Rebel Mistletoe, Holiday Cookie Freeze, Hazelnut Truffle Mocha, and their Candy Cane Mocha, which honestly is sounding a little too familiar with the Starbucks Peppermint Mocha. Now, I'm not really I don't want to say I'm not a big Dutch Bros fan. I just do not go to them as often. They're not my, oh my gosh, I really want a coffee, I'm going to go to Dutch Bros. It's normally for me Starbucks because, of course, it's convenient. And then Dunkin' because, again, refresher girl. But Dutch Bros, I'm kind of thinking I need to try this out. Do we have any, Dutch Bros fans sitting here today?
I've never been to Dutch Bros a day in my life.
You're kidding.
There was never one by my hometown, and I've never made it out here in Lexington. So maybe I'll have to give some of these holiday drinks a try. I'm personally a Dunkin' girl because it's cheap and you get bigger drinks in Starbucks. But during the holiday season, I will say I do go for a Starbucks because their peppermint mochas just hit different.
I've also never been to Dutch Bros, but this freeze is sounding interesting to me. I don't drink caffeine, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink tea. So any sort of refresher type drink always piques my interest. Again, I don't really ever get to enjoy the holiday drinks because they don't ever do it for refreshers like Starbucks. Like, what the heck, Starbucks? So I might have to try this berry sangria refresher from Dunkin' and see how I like it.
And if Starbucks really wants to just make my heart full of joy, unlike the Grinch, they should really bring back the cranberry refresher because I'm telling you right now, Bella, it's for you. I promise you. But I'm full of Christmas joy already in the November season.
Guys, I know which fast food restaurant has the most Riz around here.
Oh, good Lord.
And that's going to be Hardee's because they are launching the Rizzwich meal. This is a collaboration with social media influencer, 8-year-old sensation, the Rizzler.
No.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know who the Rizzler is, he's an 8-year-old, keep in mind, who went viral for doing the Riz face, which is a combination of him pointing at his chin, mewing, and thank you, Gabby, for that demonstration. And he's famously paired with the Costco guys, who also went viral for doing TikTok. He's literally just an 8-year-old boy, so the fact that he has a collaboration with Hardee's is so funny. But essentially, what the Rizzwich meal is, it's a limited time app exclusive grilled cheese bacon burger meal, complete with fries and a shake of choice, all dropping with extra Riz, according to Hardee's. Also with some swagger, according to Hardee's website. This is hilarious to me because why does an 8-year-old have, 1, a collaboration meal with Hardee's, 2, it's the Rizzler,
This is the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Not only do I not eat fast food, when I did eat fast food, never once did my mind go, I'm going to get Hardee's. Like, this is just a really odd collaboration.
But that's what it is no one wants Hardee's. When have you ever thought, dang, I want a Hardee's sandwich right now? You don't. But people on TikTok, they go, oh my goodness, the Rizzler loves Hardee's. I love the Rizzler. He's so cute. I gotta go to Hardee's and get the Rizzwich, because people are going to go in to Hardee's just so that they can say, I got the Rizzwich for dinner. Like, the amount of Snapchat stories that are going to be posted with getting the Rizzwich for the Rizzler, you know? Like, the sentences I'm saying don't sound real. That's what's making me really upset.
Hey, the TikTok community is going to love this. I'm going to be so for real. I'll bring it up 1,000 times. Hashtag vegetarian for me. So I will not be getting the Rizzwich. Honestly, if he could have done anything, we're sleeping on the Hardee's hot dogs, guys. Come on now. He had every opportunity to do a hot dog, and he had to choose a burger, do a hot dog.
It's the Rizzwich.
Riz dog. I don't know. Riz the season.
Riz the season, bro.
What are we even talking about? This is brain rot to a new level. I thought we had reached it last week when we were talking about the word of the year being 6-7. But if I hear one person say that they're going to go get the Rizzwich, I might just combust on the spot. I don't want to hear it.
Well, you might not want to talk to me for the next week. Let's round this out, ladies. We've made it to hot takes. I think that if you're going to Heidi Klum's Halloween party, you better show out. You see what she's wearing to her parties. I don't want to see you in a little corset and a skirt. You need to go full on. James Charles did it. Everyone needs to be putting in that amount of effort if you are attending Heidi Klum's Halloween party. I think it's equivalent to the Met Gala.
Now, I see where you're coming from, and I love the effort that goes into it because she is, so that's such a big deal. I don't want to see you going so full out that you are dressed like a worm. I'm going to be so for real. Heidi Klum's costumes these past few years have made me so incredibly uncomfortable. I cannot even fathom. It makes my skin crawl. Like, if you're going to do anything, like, go all out. Feel free to do it. Maybe not to that extent, because that's a little weird. It's a little creepy, and it makes me uncomfortable.
But they're
I'm
so cool.
But they're so weird. I don't like it. Anyways, I think the rewatch shows are lazy and unoriginal. Sorry, not sorry. You're low-key stealing content and just kind of throwing your opinions in there, slapping a name on it, and calling it a day.
I disagree majorly. One of my favorite shows is on YouTube is Trixie and Katya's rewatch show with Netflix. I think it's like absolutely hilarious, and as soon as I watch a show, I'll go see what Trixie and Katya have to say, because I think that they're just some of the funniest people on the planet. Like, I think it's kind of equivalent to podcast. I like to hear other people's commentary on things that I also like, and what they have to say about it. But something that I absolutely hate, I hate seasonal drinks. I really do. I don't like caffeine, as we know, and all these girls that run at 8 a.m. to go get their little peppermint mocha eggnog latte, they're getting in the way of my strawberry acai refresher, okay?
Let me have some joy. Let me have some whimsy. Let me treat it like the holiday season to get in the holiday spirit. Sorry, that's how I'm going to do it, is by getting myself a peppermint mocha.
Who's going to get the eggnog latte? Tell me who.
I didn't say anything about the eggnog latte in here. I want my peppermint drink.
I don't know. Maybe they just need to get rid of the eggnog latte altogether or something, but there's got to be a better way when I'm just trying to get my Starbucks drink on a normal day, and then all of a sudden I remember it's like waking up in a haunted house, but instead it's all these coffee places dropping their holiday menus, and I realize that I can't go get mine.
Maybe you just need some holiday cheer in your life, Bella.
Maybe I do. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Be sure to check us out at kykernel.com.
And be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. That's X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify.
Thanks for listening to Pop Goes the Kernel. See y'all next week.